morning. You've tuned into Atlanta and Company. I'm Christine Pilara. If you want your child to have an edge this year, Learning RX is the place to be. Here to tell us more about it are Kristen Thompson, Executive Director of Learning RX Kennesaw, Beth Ardell, Executive Director of Learning RX Atlanta and Alpharetta, and very happy, satisfied parent, Wendy Sullivan. Welcome to you all. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Well, now that the school year is in full swing, we are getting report cards back. I was just sharing Caroline's report card, and we'll go into that at another time. But, you know, Learning RX is really something that parents, if you're not liking what you're seeing and you really feel like your students are struggling, this is the time to intervene. So tell us all about who you are.
That's right. We're a little bit unique in that we want to look at the why when you mentioned the report cards.
Yes.
Why are the grades not reflecting what we think that our kids should be getting? We saw them study for the test, we saw them prepare, yet the grades are not where they should be. I'm a former teacher and would ask the same question.
Sure.
Why can I teach this lesson 3 different ways and yet still a handful of kids were not getting it? They were not retaining it. They were not mastering the information I was teaching. They could get a great grade on the spelling test, but 2 weeks later, they couldn't spell those words in a paper. Oh. So it's frustrating on so many levels of the teachers and the parents, but we really look at why. We want to go to the cause, and we'll talk about the assessment a little bit later on, but we take a look at their cognitive skills, their mental skills or brain skills. We all have them, we use them, and if there's a weakness somewhere, then learning and proving that the kids know the information is difficult. So we can take a look at it, we can train it, and the interesting part that for parents to think about today is that this is not something we went through. None of us had brain training when we were going through school, so our parents didn't have that conversation, but parents now can.
I love
Instead
it.
of doing top-down of tutoring, let's look at really your child and where the strengths and weaknesses are, and where there's a weakness, Learning RX can train it to be stronger for forever.
I just had brought Caroline in a few weeks ago, and Beth was just, you know, going over not only just the test, what to expect, but some of the results. And it was so neat to understand that some of the things that she is really strong at now, you were explaining she'll always be strong at, but the things that she is a little bit weak in, and by the way, she's 5. It's not like we're going, what is wrong with this child? Actually, she's a chip off the old block in some of her answers I'm learning, but it's just you can improve upon that. And once we strengthen the brain, it's not tutoring, it's strengthening the brain, then there's just so much room for growth and improvement, right?
Absolutely.
It's so exciting to see. And you actually have a graph to explain what your results are. So give us a little bit of background on what we're seeing.
We do. So this graph is showing you the average gain in IQ following a Learning RX program. This was from a 2011 performance report. Yeah, looking at 2,900 students, anywhere from 4.5 years old to 55 years old, because there's no limit to changing your brain in this way. And if you take, for example, the 12-year-olds, after training, from all the 12-year-olds, the average gain in IQ points was 16 points. And when you're talking about IQ points, that's a really significant number.
No kidding.
That's enough to take you from below average to average, or average to above average, or even above average to superior.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. I was just going to say, my own daughter went from below average to average, which was really life-changing for her.
Absolutely.
Is why I'm doing this now.
Well, right. And it's one of the things that I love that you brought along, Wendy, who's a happy, I almost said happy patient, happy client. But your daughter, tell us her story, why you decided to put Kelsey in Learning RX, and really watching her change and evolve. Tell us about the process.
Well, first of all, we kind of noticed that she was having some difficulties in that kindergarten age, and so we thought, well, we'll take her to a smaller school that would be more for patients like, or not patients.
I know, here we go, sorry.
Now we're all talking like that. Anyway, for students that have like dyslexia or ADHD, where they make some accommodations, smaller class sizes, and I saw her learning better. They did change her learning environment, but what I was concerned about is would she always have to be in that type of environment, a Band-Aid kind of, and I had read a book right about that time from a doctor at Columbia University where it talked about neuroplasticity and that they were seeing real changes in the brain by doing cognitive training. And so I thought, is there a place like that around here? I'd rather permanently fix this if we can, if we're going to put our money toward that. So we did, and we found Learning RX, and that's how we started.
Excellent. And talk about the progress. What did you see in her immediately and then now as she's progressed throughout the years?
So when she first started, you know, she was not excited about working working hard and going to more tutoring and training, but what I saw immediately was her attitude change. Her trainer was great with her in that she said, I want you to start looking for improvements. So her self-esteem and her attitude was so much better because she'd be like,
Excellent.
Mom, I'm doing better in this, and I'm doing better in that. And that let her start to work harder. Her endurance was longer, she would study better, and her training at the training was better. She was having fun, and we saw gains in her reading fluency, her decoding, and then also her math skills. She was in 3rd grade, and by the end, her math facts were just coming left and right. So
Fantastic.
it was great.
And she finished her training a couple of years ago. Is this something that you've seen that she has just been able to keep this achievement and continue growing upon it?
Well, we saw at the end of her training some significant gains, like Beth had talked about in some of the areas, and we knew that she had those changes, but what was interesting is we took her back for her educational testing with a psychologist a year after her training had finished, and we saw those same gains done by an independent person. So we saw her memory go up significantly. And so that was really, really exciting, and we see her continuing today.
Well, having a chance to really talk in depth to Beth, who's been so amazing, just, talking about, again, Caroline's on the younger end of the kids you see at 5 years old, but she's starting kindergarten early, so I was like, let's see. It was a great special that enticed me, which we're going to tell you about in a minute. But it's so wonderful, the work that you do to really, as you said, it's not the tutoring, it's really getting our brains to a place where we can retain so much that will last us our lifetimes. And it seems like your daughter, Kelsey, is really benefiting from that. So congratulations to you.
Thank
and
you.
I have a friend that I talked to over the weekend and said, you need to check out, her daughter has ADHD and she's been struggling with it. So I said, you have to talk to Learning RX. And I told her about the special, so tell us.
Okay, so the special is going to be $99 for a cognitive skills assessment. It's regularly $249. It'll be for the first 50 assessments that are scheduled at any of the centers around the city. And it also, after the assessment, you come for a consultation where we'll go over all the results with you, just like we did with Caroline. And the thing is, like Kristen was talking about, the report cards just came out. So if something was weird on your report card that you weren't expecting or that you weren't wanting, then it really is the time sooner rather than later to try to figure out what are the strengths and weaknesses in this child's brain. And we do want to say too that because the holidays are coming up, we've had recently several grandparents or family members who are wanting to give a really meaningful gift to their grandchild, and so they have contributed or funded a brain training program. Which I can't think of a better gift.
I can't either. That's a great idea. Thank you all for being here. Wendy, congratulations. Thank you for your time, taking your time to come today. We appreciate it so much. And if you want to take advantage of that special offer to learn more, it's Learning RX at 404-25-BRAIN, 404-252-7246, or log on to their website. It's learningrx.com/Greater Atlanta.